So hamsters, so hamsters, God, I better either drink some coffee or get another beer. I don't know what to do. So Hamster has been talking about radio a little bit, and as you know, I used to be on the radio. And recently there was a bill passed in the House about minimum wage, raising it to $15. It's only fair. We gotta treat the people, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's probably not going to pass, but trust me when I say this. If you decide, you know, that radio thing, that sounds pretty cool. You know what? I can just sit around, I can, play music all day and talk a little bit. Hi, I'm Kayla. Yeah, you're getting paid minimum wage. How many years did I get minimum wage for being on the radio? I think it was probably about 12 years of minimum wage. Yeah, what the hell was it? 7, 6, 6.5, 5.5? I don't remember. But eventually I got sick of it, and it's like, you know what? I want to make some more money. So I'm going to go back to college, get a different degree. But I mean, it's fun, sort of, in a way. But you're not going to get paid a lot. You know why, boys? You know why, boys? Because if you're a white man, the supply is endless, and the demand is low. I mean, any trained monkey can put on a freaking record, right? Oh, here's the greatest hit. It's Florida Georgia Line on K-Rock FM. It's not that hard to do. And since the demand is relatively low and the supply is endless, that's the way it works, right? That's economics. Now, if you're a chick or, if you're a black guy or Hispanic or, any one of the rainbow of colors that isn't white and male, you see, that's different because the demand is high. The FCC, Federal Communications Commission, mandates that your staff reflects your community. In other words, if you live in a community with a lot of black folks, well, you've got to have that percentage on your staff to reflect the community. And as we all know, women are 51% of the population. So you got to have half chicks. And that's fine. I mean, I get it, right? You want to have the voices and, speaking for the community and all that stuff. I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing. But what it does is it puts a premium on the salary for females and minorities. White men, you might as well fucking go work in a factory. You're going to get paid more. Aside from that. So there are probably some of you out there right now saying, you know what? That whole DJ, that sounds pretty good. I mean, all I got to do is stand around and play records all day and I get paid for it. Well, yeah. But just realize that you will be getting minimum wage. Now, that might not be the case in something like Los Angeles or, Dallas or something, New York City. But in a town that size, you're not going to get a job in radio. It's called a major market. Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, Orlando, Washington, D.C., New York City. You're not going to get anywhere near those markets and get on the air. Now, you might get some stuff in the background, maybe doing some production. What's that, Hamster? That's most of what you do, making commercials. And the worst thing you could do is having to dub them. Oh, God. Oh, geez, the memories come flying back. But I can tell you this. Many, many years ago, I worked at this one station somewhere in the upper Midwest. And the station owner spent $5,000 or $10,000 buying this machine that would do it all for you. It would play music. It would even tell you the time. Now, if you've been in radio, you know what a cart is, of course. Well, they had a cart the size of a book. And all it did was say, it's 12:30. And a minute later, it's 12:31. And 2 minutes later, it's 12:32. That's all it did. You put the cart in the machine, and it would just, it would run every minute to keep track of the time. And there was reel-to-reels, it had all the songs on there and all that kind of shit. You didn't need a person, is my point. Nowadays, in this one station I worked at in another upper Midwest city, it was all on computer. The entire freaking thing, and I can't remember the name of the program, but essentially, even though you were there saying, hey, wow, have a nice weekend, it's a Magic 108 or whatever, all of the shit was on computer. The songs, the commercials. There was really no point of you being there except they wanted to have a live person interacting, with the audience. So a $10,000 piece of machinery, really, heavy metal. It was very, very complicated. All of that shit can be put on your cell phone, and you can run a radio station without anyone actually being there. And so they're going to raise the minimum wage to $15? Not going to happen. Like I said, this guy, let's call him MM, 30 years ago, would go out of his way to spend a ton of money on this thing so he didn't have to have people there. Can you imagine how simple it would be to replace all of the DJs with a computer? If they want to fuck with the minimum wage, go ahead, raise it to 15. And watch how many people lose their jobs. But then again, the Democrats, they don't future well, do they? James Maxwell, thank you for listening.